their best foot forward, but
it's a charade.
It's a charade,
Maybe not.
You can't see
because with the inbox, the inbox doesn't give you much.
Right.
Or I think the only way I can compare or bring, should I say, a study of an inbox is what happens on the news feeds. The inbox is more at the core than what the news feed have, because the news feed is mostly the facade, you're macho, you have to keep up.
Yeah.
Until you get to the inbox that someone gets to actually be genuine with you.
Okay.
But then I don't think it's mostly with the guys.
Yeah. It's also the girls.
But maybe all of them.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Okay.
So the inbox, I can't really rely on the inbox. But yes, I have related with people and you're like, man, what you're struggling with is bigger than what you know.
You girls, when you talk, do you sometimes talk about this issue about real men? And
which girls?
Of course, you have girlfriends.
No, she says they hang out.
She does have some.
I have friends, but I think we even live in different worlds.
Right.
I have friends who are, but I mean, the kinds of conversations or spaces that I'm in, they're not in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mentioned something about patriarchy. I'd like you to discuss the role of patriarchy in the brokenness of men, because patriarchy is the system that
of course, we don't have to fight it. It can be better.
I agree.
Because if we're talking about a head, if a man takes up leadership, that is patriarchy. If the woman takes up leadership, that is matriarchy. So if you're taking up leadership, what are you bringing with your leadership?
Right.
Is it fear? Is it a safe space? Because I was going to say on my podcast. Yeah, I had a conversation with a friend and he asked those questions as well. As a father, he was like, as a father or a husband in a home, when I come back home, does my wife run away from the sitting room? Is my child happy to see me back? I think those are the questions that you have to ask yourself as a man. When you're talking about your patriarchy or how you're a patriarch, what qualities do you come with as a patriarch? Are you a safe space for your wife, for your family actually, not just your wife or children? Are you a safe space? Are you someone that someone looks forward to having back home? I mean, I've ever been in a home. I've been in different homes because, mom had to figure life out for us.
Yeah.
We ended up growing up in different homes.
Yeah.
But I've been in a home where the lady of the house would be like, your father is not coming up. And you're like, ooh, we're jubilating.
Yeah.
And it's deep joy.
Real joy, authentic.
To date, I'm even feeling it to date. That, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. And then what happens if such a person dies? Then it becomes strange.
You understand?
Yeah.
So much as I was not so much in the family because I'm more like an outsider, but because I also come from my mother where I speak my mind, I wouldn't accept some things. Like sometimes the lady would be struggling with money. She can't really leave us with breakfast. This guy is actually home. And he's leaving without giving us breakfast. Maybe I would get out of bed and like, hey, daddy,
where's the money?
We don't have breakfast.
Yeah.
And he would be ashamed.
Yeah.
Because I'm not his kid. I think if it were his kid, he would scream at them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sure. Bring the money.
Yeah.
But then I've also experienced men in my life who've given me safe space. Safe space. To a point of knowing, wow, I'm valued. And I know what being valued is from a man's perspective. Much as I don't have a father figure, these people played a big role in my life. I knew what I wanted in my life and what I didn't want. Because there is a family friend that we have. He has been a part of my life, I think, from the age of 4. And there's a time when I was sort of angry with him. our former maid had given me some information. And I wanted him to react to it when I returned from school. And he was quiet. And now for me in my head, I'm like, that is hypocritical. That's not being honest. That's not the kind of relationship we've grown up with. So I woke up early in the morning and went to his door. And I found him getting out. I think I was about 14 at that age. And he was going to work. I was like, you're going? He was like, no, what's up? You want to talk? I said, yeah. He opened the house and we sat and talked. And that is the kind of accountability I understand.
Wow.
Because I was holding my elder accountable and he was telling me his point of view of life.
Yeah.
And we came to terms and he went to work.
Wow.
So that is why I don't understand these little boys saying, I'm a man.
Yeah.
What do you come with your manhood?
Yeah.
What do you come
They
with?
don't want to talk because they are a man.
They don't want to be held accountable because they're a man. It's talking about things like, how does a woman talk to me like that? I was a girl. I was holding a man accountable.
That was cute. Yeah.
I don't know if cute is the right word.
Yeah, that was very nice. For a man, I'm talking about how it turned out.
Yeah.
For the man to really take some time and sit down with a 14-year-old and explain his side of the story and so on.
What is the strangest question that your daughter has asked you?
Not yet.
Have you given her a chance?
Have you given that space?
Yeah, it's there. It's always there. Actually, she's the one who is always asking questions. And the questions that she normally asks are questions that are within her space.
Yeah.
Sometimes, how can I do this? How can I do that? The why questions are far in between. They're few and far in between.
And your son?
The same. My son is basically asking, how can I do this? How can I do that? He wants to find out things that he does on his laptop and so on, and things that he sees on the TV. They watch Da Vinci Kids, and so sometimes they do experiments. So he comes and asks, how can I do this? And so on.
Let's talk about TV even as we prepare to wrap up. And TV here representing the culture or the agenda that is being set by media. What I'm trying to find the proper way to phrase this question, but as guardians of the next generation, what should a parent do right now as far as TV time is concerned?
I think
to prevent more brokenness that is going to end up being masked.
Yeah.
But is TV doing that?
It is. If it's not regulated, first of all, you have to realize TV.
Just think about the fact that for a working parent, sorry to cut you short, for a working parent, your children are going to spend most of their lives with a maid.
Right.
So you have to ask yourself, what is the maid watching? Because your kid is not very far away from what the maid is watching. So this is television. So when you think about your children sitting at the in the living room with your maid watching NBS, Karakata, Uncut, and all that nonsense, how are you dealing with this? Are we just going to be passive about it?
I think the family has got to have some kind of culture in terms of what do we espouse higher than the other. In my house, it doesn't matter who is there, me, my wife, or kids. There's a specific time the TV is going to be put on. If they're going to watch TV earlier, then they're going to watch Da Vinci, which is teaching them science and all that stuff. That one they know. But the earliest the TV is put on is 3 o'clock every day. Doesn't matter whether it's a weekend or a weekday. If they are in school, of course, it's later on. But as long as they are home, it's at 3. TV has become some other animal because not only do they have some kind of hidden agenda in this world of what you call gender fluidity, they are pushing their own agenda to people. I mean, obvious things. The other day you saw in the news where this transgender business is going on. Yeah. I don't see the validity of transgender. I don't know. I don't understand it. But there's a boy who gets into a girl's bathroom because he's transgender.
Yeah.
Right? Legally, he's allowed to do that. But morally, it's wrong. What does he do? This transgender woman rapes a real girl.
Yeah.
Right? He's a man, but he's being identified as a woman. He gets into the bathroom.
I think his whole transgender business is masking.
Rapes a girl.
This is like the most legal mask.
And you know what they do? They cover up. The whole school administration, they cover up. That's what society is becoming. They cover up. And they send the boy to another school. Guess what? He is still transgender. Identifies himself as a trans. Goes into a girl's bathroom. Rapes another girl. These are the things that they want to be normal on TV.
Yeah.
You understand?
And you can't talk about it.
And you can't talk about it. They're going to cancel you. So in your family, you have the space to do exactly what you can do.
But do we know what to do?
You switch off that thing. You shoot it if you got to shoot it. All right? And you basically, you'll be in control. You decide what's going to be watched, what's not going to be watched. But I do believe that on top of regulating TV, the idea is, what are you replacing TV with?
Yeah.
True.
It will be conversations. Masks will thrive where there are no conversations.
But think about it, that if you're wearing a mask, I can't hear you properly.
You can't speak well. By the way, you can speak, yes, but I don't see, you must. I don't see your emotions. I don't see whether you're smiling. I don't see you blushing. I don't see whatever it is. Where there are no conversations in our families, in our psyche, we'll put on masks. Even as men, when we come together to talk, when the TV is on and we're watching Jamie Vardy scoring against Arsenal and so on and so forth, we are masking. The TV is masking us. The sports events we go for, they have their place, but there will always be masks. If we're not going to put genuine, real, heartfelt, vulnerable conversations on the table, and I think that's the rarest things that the male species is facing. The rarest thing that is good is conversations. And we are walking around with the masks, even before masks started coming. Sometimes we're putting on cosmetics and so on. You see a guy, you think he's got it all together. You have no idea that this guy is having animals inside of him, eating him up, and he really wants some help, but he's gotta be macho. He's gotta
look strong.
Gotta present put his front foot forward, you know. So I'm thinking the solution is conversations.
Just call us and say, yo, solution. Lawrence, I don't got it. I don't got it. Help me. Get it together. And I think these are conversations that are very, very needed right now. And on that note, I would like to give every one of you a minute to speak your truth, because you said conversations. Just 1 minute. Speak your truth. Let's begin with you now, Guzi.
What, my truth and what?
Just speak.
Sense.
Open your heart and speak.
Open my heart?
Yeah.
I always open my heart.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to open up to.
Just what we've said today, what has it made you think about that?
It's very
you'd
important.
Like to be heard about.
It's very important for men to help each other as men, because while I was struggling with the people that I relate with closest, they couldn't really hear me because I am a woman, and it's a man that can easily understand a man's struggles. It's the same way how a man can't necessarily come and tell me what it is a woman struggles with. So it's best that men build spaces in which they can hear themselves out and see themselves for who they really are. Without bonding over alcohol. Much as you can, but that's not the most important. Yeah, you can do better.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Lawrence?
Conversations. I mean, it goes back to that. It goes back to the idea of conversing. And probably we might not be as well prepared as women are in terms of conversing. We might not be as good as what what women can be able to do with their conversations. This joke that they normally say, I don't know if it's a joke or it's the truth that a woman has how many words.
But